Hello guys, welcome back to another video. It is me, Ice Collects, aka Ice Stop Motions, and today we have a brand new custom figure that I've made, and it is inspired by Gandalf the Cool. He's on YouTube and he does, 3D prints of figures, and this is inspired by him. I made this myself, and I just used the parts he, used in the video, of course, and I will be, of course, linking his channel either in the description or the comments section. But this is probably one of my favorite customs I've done so far. And let's just get straight into this video. Don't forget to, of course, like and subscribe. And let's get straight into this.
Don't you know you're my favorite? Don't you know that I care about you?
Details. Now, starting off with the details on this figure is, of course, the purple shirt from the games. And I think it actually came out really well. I mean, usually in some bits, if I just move my camera into the light, you can see some slight darkness, because if you can see that, there's some darkness on the paint because I had to do multiple coats, and sometimes it was different because I had to mix dark, like black of course, and some dark purple just to get like the right amount. And with the pants I just used normal like navy blue, and it came out actually pretty well. I thought mixing like some colors, but I just decided not to and went with like navy blue with the pants. It was kind of hard painting the little stripes here, kind of messed up, but I think on the back it actually looks pretty good. If I just move my camera into light, you guys can see that, but I think the back ones actually turned out quite well. I didn't really know what to do with this, since really I thought about adding maybe gold, but then just decided to leave it at silver. I painted the boots brown again, just because some of the blue did get on, and I didn't want to snap off the boots while trying to get this figure apart. I removed the tattoos with some nail polish remover, and I think I could remove that because that's just paint, but I find real no point because the tattoos are gone. It's not really big of a bother, and this figure's mine. So the head, on the other hand, is still a little bit annoying, just because if I can get this camera positioned correct, as you can see, it's the ball joint, like the neck joint is all the way in, and the hole doesn't really fit, and as you can see there's some paint, but that's not really a big problem. And because of that, it just kind of sits there. Like if you notice, it doesn't really connect, but when I push it in, it connects. But I could just use like a Dremel to Dremel all this out and then make it fit, which I'll definitely do one day because I want to have neck articulation. The head was a little bit tricky because the hair would just not come off, because someone at the factory, the rest was easy, but then put a big blob of just like glue right there in one spot, and so I couldn't get it off, but then eventually got it off. And I still have the hair. Sorry for the quick break there. Here's the hair, and I don't know, maybe you can just see it, but like if I position it correct, there's kind of the blob of glue. And then if you're wondering how I did the hair, he mentions it in his short, or you have to go into the comments, because it was so hard to make this, because it's very hard to find what materials he uses, because it doesn't state it, or she, who knows, probably a he, but anyways, he doesn't really exactly state it in his videos, so it was a little bit tricky, but then eventually I found a comment. So but yeah, either way, this figure for me turned out great. The head is the Rolando from Indiana Jones. I don't know which movie, actor of Puss in Boots, so if you know, you know. And I used Millie Put, if you know what that is. It basically is like a clay. I would recommend using gloves when you mix it. Got to get it really soft, then just sculpt it on him. And then I had to paint, and I did multiple coats, that's why it's messed up here. So I was a little bit like, oh, which color do I want to have like gray stripes on here? But I didn't really give any texture to the hair, but that doesn't really matter. I think the hair turned out amazing. I sculpted like the little slight hair bit. It doesn't really pick it up on the camera, but that's okay. I painted some of the beard a little bit more, just a little bit of a darker gray, not really too much, because I still want to make it look like his beard's growing. But yeah, that's really it for the details on the figure, really, because there's not really too much about this figure. When painting, definitely, use hot water. It's up to you if you want to take off the boots or not, because my figure, I just had this Indiana Jones, because this is the Indiana Jones body. Like, you can use just the one that doesn't have an ab crunch or whatever. I'm not sure what Indiana Jones, but I think it's one of the first from like series 1 or something. These are the Rolando arms. They were so annoying to make. I'll pop out one of them just to show y'all. Oh, if I can get it out. Okay, here. So as you can see, I had so many problems with these damn arms because it would jump up and down in the socket, and so I had to use milliput and just chuck some in, and it literally, I would shake the figure and the arms would bounce up and down, and I snapped the peg in here, and the pegs, of course, you'll never get it in here, but still. And so I just pop it in there, and it sits in there. I will do probably some more repaints eventually of this guy, and then I'll put like a clear coat or whatever just to seal all the paint, and it'll be all good. Now, let's move on to accessories. So, accessories-wise, we got his knife, which is a Marvel Legends, any type of knife, and I just painted some dark blood so it looks like dried, which I think fits really well with the figure because, he needs his knife to just stab children. Anyways, let's go dark real quick. He's got his toupee. No, I'm kidding. But really, all I gave him is this knife. I may give him like a small revolver, just because to add to the wall of William Afton. But there's nothing really. I really want to add a cleaver, just cause, and potentially how I forgot what. It doesn't matter. It's just like a cloth that wraps around him, and so it kind of looks like he's just been chopping up people. I'm making it sound like he's Dexter Morgan, so. But yeah. I guess his other accessory really could just be this, like, the Spring Bonnie suit, like my old custom. This one, I guess they don't really size too well. And that's the next thing we're going to get into now, aside from, of course, accessories. And next up on the list is, of course, sizing. Now, sizing-wise, he will size perfectly with your Funko. Well, not really. He towers over them. This isn't Funko. Of course, it's my custom, but, it sizes with Funko, on the dot. It is basically the same height, so let's just say this is Funko, and, it's the same height, so he won't scale with your Funko, but he'll scale with your Jazzwares Freddy Fazbear and just any Jazzwares animatronic, which I think size-wise, I'm not too sure on this. I like the Jazzwares FNAF, but, I think we need to really size them up by, a little bit more, because the animatronics should be up here, not down here, you know what I mean? Because, they're 400 damn pounds or whatever, so they're not supposed to be short. It's supposed to be tall, but, it should be up here. But it's whatever. I don't really care too much. I definitely think I will customize this because, whoops, sorry, Spring Bonnie, you're just gonna have to go over there. I think I will customize this just because the paint, they've messed up on mine a little. In some of the early releases of these figures, even on my Bonnie one, they didn't include the red eyes. That's eBay sellers for you, but still, it was one of the first releases. In the first places they got released in, so you gotta expect it. And they haven't come out in Australia. Jazzwares, just come on. I don't want to be spending so much money in the US for these figures, bro. The figures need to come out here, because then it's easier to make customs, stop motion for me. But still, either way though, this figure will scale with, of course, Marvel Legends. 6-inch. And I think I think he'll scale alright with your, like, Black Series. He scales alright. Like, he's gonna be the average size of your Marvel, like, civilian Marvel Legends. But yeah, the only real reason I'm making these figures is because I want to. But aside from that is stop motion because I want to use this guy. If you guys didn't see my post, go check it out, like the post section. Oops. Do your voting because, you know, stop motion or more reviews. You guys pick. I mean, either way, one's going to be happening less, just slightly. Springborn's jaw is very messed up. It's the Fredbear from the SFM or whatever, where his jaw is just like that or whatever. We'll just leave that. I mean, this video is about William Afton. But yeah, I gotta say though, like this whole, I will say though, this custom I'm very happy with, and I appreciate, you know, Gandalf just telling me what he used, because then it's, you know, a huge help. I literally did not know what to do with the arms, so if you have the same problem, remember, just sculpt like around. I'm not going to pull it out again because I don't want to keep doing that, but go back in the video, sculpt it around the joint, and then just because like you don't want to accidentally screw it up. Of course, check out my shorts because they're pretty good as well. You know, hit like and subscribe because hopefully we can get to 600 by either the end of the month or maybe the end of this week, but depends. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.